What's up, guys? Welcome back to Harvist. Today, my guest is one of my friends as well as one of our users. I want to put it to you that way because this is going to be a fun conversation. Jamie Barber, he represents Southern California and specifically the Valencia area. We'll get into that. But he is a Harvist user. And I'm just really excited to have this conversation because you guys are going to get a kick out of this one. So, Jamie, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, pleasure. You know, anything for us, for you. Is
so let's ask about your foray into real estate. Like, how did you get here? How long you been doing it? What exactly drove you to the real estate world?
Well, actually, I've been a realtor now for 4 years. I retired from the film business. I was a cinematographer and a director previously. Had an amazing career, but at the end of that career, I was spending at least the last 15 years of my career, I lived outside the United States, and I just was getting a little tired of living in apartments and hotels all over the world. And I wanted a little more stable of a life. I mean, the film industry was fantastic, and that career could not have been better, but multiple divorces and children who don't talk to me because I was never around. So I wanted a little more of a stable life. And I looked around, I took my pensions from the Cinematographer's Guild and from the Director's Guild and looked around at what I wanted to do. And the one thing that I noticed was that having bought and sold property, especially through multiple divorces, was that film people have an interesting problem with real estate because right in the middle of escrow, next thing you know, you're in Budapest or you're in Hong Kong or you're something. So I just felt it was a good idea, someone to hold their hand and understood their problems and their issues. And it just expanded from there, where now I don't care who you are. I'll help anybody do what they need to do because it's a great business. It's crazy, you know, how to get people through the process.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think you make a really good point. I think that everybody should hear is that everybody has a unique situation, right? And getting to that person's unique situation, asking questions. For you, I mean, obviously you've been in that world for a lot of those people, but I think that goes with anybody, right? Is that you've got to get to the bottom line. You got to get to what their need is. You got to get to who they are and what that is.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the way I approach it is my job is to make your life easier. And the way that I can make your life easier is to understand why you're here and what you're going through and what you need. And mainly it's what you need so that I can then provide that service to help you get what you need. And that's what I find. And it's actually funny because I have a client right now who that was her issue. She became my client because somebody else who was helping her was just not listening to what she wanted and not doing what she needed. And I came in and I just said, no, I'm here for you. I will guide you through this process. I will get you through it, and we will do whatever has to happen. And she's extremely happy right now, so I'm good.
That's awesome. So tell me about the area that you serve specifically, right? So you're now building this business,
right?
Outside of just the film industry and outside of the people, like most people talk about your sphere of influence, right? That's where you go first, and that's the way to do it because those are the people that already trust you to some extent.
Except for those evil people went on strike last year.
Yeah.
So they all became unemployed.
So now you're branching into actually building a business and actually farming an area and actually making your brand known. So tell me about the area that you serve and why you chose that area.
What I did was I live in a little area out in Santa Cruz called Valencia, and my area of Valencia is called the Valencia Central Valley, and it's all single family homes, and it's really a bedroom community. There's a school, park. It's a lot of people with kids because the school in that area is like great. And there's a lot of, there's walking areas called paseos. So kids can walk to school, and you can walk to the store. There's a Whole Foods that's at one end, and a Ralph's at another, and there's all the usual stuff, all within walking distance. So it's really, really a nice, safe community. And I live in there, so I'm their neighbor, and I make sure they all know I'm their neighbor. I go through the same things that they go through. And that's why I chose it, because it really is, they have community pools, like I said, a big park, and you can see the dog, people with dogs all meet there. There's a group, there's a woman who holds a clinic for softball, people practicing, there's always stuff going on at the school. So it's really a great community. And the issue that I'm having now with that community is there's not a lot of turnover.
That's what happens when you get to these beautiful communities with pools and parks and really great people. You're like, I don't even want to, they never want to leave, right?
Because I do a lot of phone calls and things like that. And so when I talk to them, it's all, no, I'm happy. And I said, I understand you're happy. But luckily, there's a lot of people that are aging out and things like that want to downsize. Their kids are going off to college and things like that. So there is some turnover. And so I decided that I wanted to make sure that I am the person that they call and talk to, and if there is any turnover.
Well, again, so if we look at it from that perspective, it's not just about the people that you're talking to farming that are getting all of your communication. Is that it's not just about them selling a house. It's about building a relationship with those people, because they're the ones who can refer you, right? And they're the ones who say, hey, we're not moving, but my sister and uncle, brother.
My daughter's about to get married. They want to move, and they like the area as well. This is where they grew up, or we can even expand out a little bit and go outside the area. Because I don't mind traveling, so like I've sold property, or I helped someone buy property up near Sacramento, and I've done it down near San Diego. I don't care.
Right.
I'll just if that's your need, I'm happy to help you. And that little community, the Central Valley, is great because it's all the relationship. And it's really funny because my favorite thing that happened in all of it was they remodeled the local supermarket. And when they remodeled the local supermarket, they moved where the food was all over the thing. So, and I understand from some marketing people that deal with supermarkets, they do that on purpose. So it makes you walk, because everyone gets used to where the food is, so they go straight there. And the marketing people want you to wander through the store. So every once in a while, they have to remodel it and then move the stuff around, so you do it. So when we would I'd have conversations with my area, that was one of the first things, like, have you been into the store yet? And they go, what? And I said, they're remodeled. Oh, yeah, they're remodeling. I said, they moved the food. The tortillas are completely in the cheese. And then they would go, you're right. And then you would build that rapport. And then it was just, now I'm their best friends.
Yeah. Again, that's the element that we want to be able to work with our clients, right? That Harvist is not just like, yeah, you're just going to plan it and all of a sudden everybody's moving. That's not how real estate works, and especially great areas what you're talking about. But when you have the ability to build a relationship with somebody based on the information that they're getting from you, based on the education that they're getting from you, knowing the market, knowing what's going on with their area, with their house, with the prices, and the market as a whole, right?
Yes.
With interest rates and things like that play a part in buyers and sellers, doing anything. And so for you to be able to take that, build that relationship, it's not just about them selling a house, it's about that relationship, them bringing other people to it. So
there's plenty of people that can tell you the information of what's going on in the market.
Right.
But no, it's becoming personal and letting them know that this is what's happening in the market, but this is why, and I'm here to help you if you've got any questions. And I've got one, he called up and he goes, listen, I've got a problem. You must know electricians. And I said, what's going on?
Absolutely.
And he goes, my daughter was playing and I think we've got a problem. And I said, sure, here, let me call you. My neighbor down the street is an electrician. Here's his number. He can help you. And then I got another guy who called and said, listen, I've got a plumbing problem. And I said, okay, well, here's a great plumber. And what's great now is I'm the source of information for them.
Yeah.
Which is great, so that they know that Jamie can solve it. He's got those people.
That's awesome.
So that's I think one of the things I really like.
That's incredible. So what intrigued you about Harvist when we obviously we did the demo and you saw the platform, but what intrigued you about it?
So that's one of the things. I mean, I started with my neighborhood and some other ones. When you've got a house that's listing, you immediately then figure out the 200 people that live around it, and you send them postcards and phone calls, and so I know the cost of doing that. And Harvist came, and I know the cost of my area, of what it does. And I looked at what they offered and the cost to do it, and you go, well, let's see, postcards and that, and you go up and you go, no, the return on investment of that's pretty damn good, and I don't have to worry about it. It's something that I know that I'm going to get so many touches a month, and like I said, the price is fantastic.
That's great.
Because having to pay those bills before I got to Harvist, I know what they were.
Sure, and that's what I think people, and somebody like you who does have business, who's out there taking the time off, if it's going to be a letter, and come up with the copy, and then stuff the envelope, and then make sure the postage is right, and then get it out to the people, is that it's going to happen no matter what. It's on us now to pull that off for you.
And I love the fact that my house is in the middle of all of that, so I get my own stuff.
Yeah, we always suggest for everybody to put themselves as that recipient.
So every once in a while, I'll come home and they'll be going, what are you doing now? And that's it works. That's great.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, is there anything else that has helped you, like from a standpoint of, every single one of our physical touches, right? You have a postcard and you have a letter, right? 8 postcards, 4 letters over the 12 months. And then you have your emails as well as the voicemails.
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear the voicemails.
Yeah. Have you recorded?
I've recorded it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, are there anything that stands out for you as far as those go that really, really help you?
No, I think just being top of mind is primary, and I love the postcards, and because it was just like. When you got it, it's like, oh, yes, that looks great. Because what's really funny is I've noticed since I was with Harvist, I don't get as many from other people, from other realtors. So I don't know what happened, but I'm taking advantage of it. But I love the fact, and I like physical presence, something physical. Even if they throw it away, at least they look at it before they throw it away.
Yeah, then when they walk in that grocery store, they go, "Do I know that guy?"
Oh no, they all because I do. I brand. I wear branding. I have vests and I have t-shirts, my polo shirts and stuff like that all say Jamie Barber Homes on it, and I'll get stopped all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, do you work for them? And I go, no, I own them.
I am. I am them. Yeah. No, that's awesome. I think, I hope everybody today, what they heard was, for you is, one, your knowledge of the area, one, you live there, but understanding the schools, understanding the parks, understanding the community element, and being part of that.
Yes.
Right? Being part of that. Was it, you telling me one of the things that you did were flags? Was that?
Yeah, well, that's the best. That's absolutely, that worked out really fantastic. I decided 4th of July that I would put flags in everyone's front yard. And so, in my little farm. So I started doing that. I started putting the flags in. And the reaction I got was spectacular. Like literally a lady driving down the street stopped and thanked me. She goes, "Thank you. I really appreciate it. It looks, your patriotism." And I said, "Oh, thank you very much." And everyone, I got no negative reactions. No one ever said, "No, thank you, take it back." Everyone was like, "Oh, that's great, Jamie. Thank you. We appreciate it." And so now it's something that's going to happen all the time. And the other thing that, because I call my farm, I call everyone in that farm as well. And when I call them, I also get the same, I got your letter. Thank you very much. We think about you.
Yeah.
And it's also, that's another way of like when I stay in touch with that neighborhood, and you find the stories that I hear from them are hysterical.
Yeah, that's awesome. Again, I'll leave the people with this. The two pillars of all of this, of marketing, are consistency and relevancy.
Yep.
One of the things that you made reference to, and even with Harvist, is that we actually are on a calendar base. So, New Year's, they're getting New Year's stuff. And 4th of July, they're getting 4th of July stuff. And Thanksgiving and the holidays, and it all works in, again, because that's what's relevant at the time.
Absolutely.
And the more relevant we are, not just with the market data, which is also something that we pull fresh every month.
Yep.
So you get fresh market data as well as the calendar-based system, so that each and every holiday we're hitting.
Because everybody, there are a lot of realtors, and so everybody sends market data. But if you can personalize it with what's going on, and there's something that they can use in the information that's personal to them, not to what the interest rates are or what the Fed's doing. That makes it even so much better, because there are people that are making those decisions to buy or sell that aren't quite as technical with that information.
Yeah.
And later on, I can feed them that information when we need to discuss it. But when someone says, "Oh, what? I loved your," and you go, "Okay, thank you very much."
Yeah, man. Well, you're doing an amazing job. I know that, the years that I've known you and watched you do this, you just soar. So I just want to appreciate you. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for sharing it with us.
My pleasure. I love you.
All right. Right back at you, buddy. All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great one. Thank you very much.